The economy is forecast to slightly recover in 2022 to about 3.2%, according to the report titled Namibia Economic Outlook. The most significant growth is expected in the mining sector, with the arrival of the Debmarine Namibia's latest diamond vessel keenly awaited. The vessel is said to have the capacity to produce over 500,000 worth of carats annually. Yet, for economic growth to have a meaningful social impact, structural reforms are suggested across all sectors of the economy.
So a lot of the growth next year and the years thereafter is driven particularly by the mining industry, the biggest one there definitely being Namibia and the new mining vessel that has the capacity to add about 500,000 carats per year. And from a real growth perspective, where you're just comparing output levels, that will increase output significantly and therefore growth significantly. However, this growth is very limited and very concentrated to one area. And so while the growth might look large or look better, the challenge there is that it's very concentrated into one area and one environment. So it won't be broad-based growth that will feel like that to the man on the street.
McGregor reiterated the need for urgent reforms across policies and lessen administrative red tape, which hinders the ease of doing business in Namibia. So doing, he says, would stimulate economic growth post the pandemic and attract investment, which subsequently would lead to well-paying jobs, a reduction in poverty and inequality. He also pointed out on the mitigating impact of the government's 8.1 billion economic stimulus package on the effect of the pandemic and the struggling economy.
So the relief granted both by government in terms of the fiscal stimulus as well as the monetary easing that we saw last year definitely did play a role in easing the full extent of the COVID burden. However, obviously government has very limited reserves and wasn't able to do that to a large extent or to a sufficient extent, and that's partly seen by that large 8% contraction we had last year.
McGregor stressed that a deterioration in household income is expected to result in weak overall demand for credit or loans. That at least should play a role in keeping inflation relatively down, he also added.
On the monetary side of things, definitely the repo rate did have some impact, and that would have provided some relief, especially to those who are indebted, and Namibia's average household indebtedness is quite high. The challenge is that these low repo rates in a very unstable credit environment does drive investment away from sort of lending to the private sector and rather looking for credit extension to more reliable or safer investments such as government securities, and that results in something that we call crowding out.
Kaipa Kanji, NBC News, Windhoek.